Hallo? Waar jy waardeversameling en definisieversameling. So on your notes, you will see there on the right hand side, bottom part, domain. Juffrou Heredin. Okay. Okay, so domain, we want the X values, right? Now, if you look at this graph, what would my X values be? Okay. Wat gaan dit wees? Okay, if I were to say X is an element of real numbers, then it is basically going to go on and on and on and on. No. So that would have been true if it did go on and on. Maar, kyk gou hierso, we said it must be between negative 360 and positive 360. So in hierdie geval, gaan ek sê dit is van, onthou dis X, and this is also where some of you struggled in the test. X moet wees groter as, en hy's ook gelyk aan, né? Minus 360 degrees. And X is less than and equal to positive 360 degrees. Is julle by daar? Yes. So. Kyk gou. Jy kan. Ja. Ja. I'm going to say or, kyk gou, minus 360, positive 360. Okay, and it's block brackets. And then X is an element of. Yes, jy kan dit doen. Okay? Enige een van die twee? Okay, nou, kom ons kyk gaan na range. Die waardeversameling. When we talk about range, we are looking at the Y values. Right? So dan, sê weer. Daar sê, kyk gou. My Y-waardes kan wat wees? Negative 1, positive 1. It can only be between negative 1 and positive 1. So you either write it like this. Y must be greater than and equal to minus 1. And less than and equal to positive 1. Or Y is an element of block bracket. 1 is gelyk aan. Minus 1, komma punt. Positief 1 en weer 'n blokhakkie. Right, do you guys get it? Good. Goed, so kom ons kyk gou na die volgende grafiek. Y is equal to cos X. Kan ek maar wegskiep hierso? Die stappe is presies dieselfde as wat ons gehad het by die sin grafiek. Ja. Al wat verander is jou vergelyking. So jy gaan nou hê fx is gelyk aan cos x. That's it. Nee. Ja. Okay, kan ek hier weg, né? Okay, nou, kyk gou hier. By 'n kosgrafiek, hom gaan ek sommer hier langs die kant teken. Okay, so daar's weer my y-as en hierdie is my x-as. Nou by kos gaan ek sê, kom ons maak hom groen. Kyk gou daai C. Cos. The C of cos is going to look like this. Kyk gou, jy begin bo en dan maak hy 'n C. Nee, lelik. Kyk gou so. 'n C. Ja, soos 'n parabool. Nee? Dis 'n mooi suurskrif C. Kyk, jy sien net 'n gewone C en jy het sulke mooi krulletjies. Okay, so sien julle, dit is hoe my kos grafiek gaan lyk, né? So I remember the C, but just flip it up so that it looks like a parabola, né? En dan onthou mooi krulletjies teen die kante. So kom ons gaan teken gou on that page that I gave you guys. Can I skip? Nee. Nogie. Kom, is net 'n klein dingetjie wat jy moet maak. Alright, hands up, who's still copying? Niemand. Het nog eens gedoen die poepster. Hulle dan is maar die moeilikste. Sin en kos is dieselfde. Okay, right. I as X as. Wie sien? Wie slaat? Naand. Ja. Ja. Wel, my liewe kind. Okay. Ek gaan nou hierso sommer so 'n stukkie aanteken want my plek is nou te min. Oeg, is baie lelik. Right. So, ons het y is gelyk aan cos x. Okay. Good. So now method 1 is you use your calculator and say cos 90 and then plot your point. Cos 180, plot your point. Nee? Or you go back to our calculator and try and plot those points. Ek wil hê jy moet gou self vir my probeer. Ja, moenie jou koppie so skud nie. Nee? You can. I said that's option 1. Drawing with a calculator is option 2. So quickly try on your own. Substitute in cos 0 en sit in. Of gebruik jou sakrekenaar. Quick, I'm giving you 1 minute. Dis genoeg. Vinnig, vinnig. Nee, ek dog is een van hulle. Sorry, nee, dis fyn. Ek hoor glad. Nee, ek wou net skel, maar dit pla my nie. So jy kan antwoord. Ja. Where's the X? There we go, in blue. So to get that, I'm going to say alpha. And then X. There we go. Just close your bracket after that. Nie praat nie, doen. Ja, want jy wil mos nie nog 'n grafiek teken nie. Did you get it? It's fast. Calculator is fast, né? Sien jy? Okay, plot, connect your dots. Bitchy. Because I say 1 is minus 361. So then you plot 1. Then it's minus 270 is 0. And then 37. And minus 180 is minus. Remember, you're going to have two C's. So this is on the negative side and that's on the positive side. Yeah, fun. But the way that's... First plot all your points and then connect the dots. So is the C supposed to come so? So. Okay, kom ons plot gou die punte want lyk my hier het iemand vir X en Y omgeruil. Okay, so kyk gou vinnig. Jy moet hê by minus 360 you should have 1. Then at minus 270 degrees you should have 0. Then at minus 180 you should have minus 1. At 90 you should have 0. At 0 degrees, you will have a y value of 1. Nee? So kyk gou, as ek connect my dots. Can you see the C? See the C, nee? Sien die C? Kom ons gou nog aan. Okay, dis die ander ding. Luister gou. Sy sê nou sy kry 'n W. Kyk gou, moenie dit doen nie. Nee? Ek soek nie reguit lyne nie. Alright. It's got to be curved. So, like that. Want, remember, we make our steps 90 degrees. If you were to make your steps smaller, as jy net 'n punt elke 30 grade gaan plot, dan gaan jy sien hy maak so 'n kurwe. Okay, so it's not a straight line. Yes. Verkieslik, maar elke persoon se netjies verskil mos nou maar, Marcus. Dis okay. Kyk gou, vir dit gaan ek vir jou nie 'n punt gee nie. Want ja. Hy moet net nee. So, daar's hy. Kyk gou, hoe meer jy hom doen, hoe makliker gaan dit gebeur, né? Nee? So we're just starting today. Yes. No, but if they only give it up until 180, then you made your end 180. So it means you said start at minus 360. Oh, jy het die afpeltjie gedrink hier. Ah nee, liewe vader. Okay, just to clarify, all of you, maybe you made the same mistake. Oef, ek het nou net gespoeg. She said hers only goes up until minus 180. Please use your little arrow, nee? Dan skuif jy af. Okay? Goed, maar dis nou vir die blondes. Okay. Right. Sê gou vir my, so daai het jy nou actually, you drew a cost graph without really knowing what it should look like. Nee? So can you see how easy it is if you just use your calculator? Nee. Okay. Goed. So, kom ons vul gou in. And now think back of what we did at sine graph. Wat gaan my periode wees? What's the period? Wat is periode nou weer? Nee. Poepies. Gaan lees. Kyk gou. Periode is how many degrees it takes to complete one full graph. Nou, hoeveel grafieke het ek hierso? I've got 2 full graphs, nee. Ek wil net weet hoeveel vat dit om 1 volle grafiek te voltooi. Met ander woorde, daai is 1 volle grafiek. And how many degrees was that? 360. Okay. Nee, jy het begin met 0 en sulke. Ek weet ek sal net die recording gaan luister. Okay. Amplitude. Wat is amplitude nou weer? Das, say dankie. So what is my amplitude here? 1. Good. Okay, let's look at domain and range. It's the same, baie mooi. So domain will still be from minus 360 up until positive 360 of, jy kan sê x is an element of block bracket minus 360, comma punt 360, weer 'n blokhakkie. Okay, what is my range? Wat is my waardeversameling? Hy mag gaan van minus 1 tot by positief 1. Nee. Or you can say y is an element of minus 1, 1. Onthou net, en ek sê dit nou omdat ek sien het van julle daai fout gemaak in die toets. We always start with our lowest, meaning if there's a negative number, you've got to have the negative number first. En jy eindig met die grootste getal. Okay, is julle reg? Any questions here? Good. Nou, ons derde grafiek is the tan graph. Now, before we start drawing, I want you guys to do it on your calculator. Ek gaan gou terugskiep na die stappies toe. Tik gou vir my daarin. Mode 3 and then tan x equal. En dan sê jy weer, we start at minus 360 and we end at positive 360. Dan kyk jy gou vir my daar, wat kry jy daar? Het ek nie omgedoen nie. Ons het dit gedoen nou heel aan die begin. Jy het net nie daai stukkie gefokus nie. Skryf gou. Nee, wat het jy nou gedoen? Hy moet nie so maak nie. Okay, hou het net so is die verkeerd hier, dan moet errors wees. Vir 'n slag is error 'n goeie ding, né? Okay, Zalika, is jy klaar? Okay. Okay, good. Now, you will see that you have errors on your little table at what? Minus 270 en by? Minus 90, 90 en 270. Okay, now, what does it mean? If it says error on your calculator, it usually means it's impossible. Nee. Yeah, it's like we have undefined. It's impossible. Nee. Met ander woorde, daai waardes by minus 270 en by minus 90, 90 en positief 270, we're going to have asymptotes. So a tan graph is the only one at trig graphs that has got an asymptote. Okay, right. So hoe doen ek dit? Kom ek wys gou eers net vir jou hoe lyk dit dan grafiek. Kyk gou. Okay, y en x en nou gaan jy hê asymptote. En hoe dui ons nou weer asymptoot aan? Met stippellyntjies. Onthou julle dit? The same as in our previous graphs. No. So that's going to be at minus 90. And it will also be at minus 270. It will be at 90. Ja. Tensy hy geskuif het. Ja, at all our functions. When it's an asymptote, we use dotted lines. Nee? Om te wys. Right. So let's say that was at minus 270. This was at minus 90. Positief 90 and positive 270. Okay. So, just to quickly walk through it. Remember just now we did period of a sine graph and a time. Sine and time. Sin en cos grafiek, né? En wat was die periode van elkeen van hulle? Man. 360 grade. The period, né? Hoe lank dit vat vir een grafiek om voltooi te wees? So dit was 360 grade. Maar nou kyk gou hier. Now we have 4 sections or 3 sections between minus 270 and 90. Nou wat is daai stukkie? Hoe groot is dit? Hoeveel grade? That's 180 degrees, nee? En onthou, 'n asymptote, we never allowed to touch that line or cut through it. So wat gaan die periode wees van 'n tangrafiek? 180 grade. Okay. Between the minus 90 and the 90, again, 180 degrees. Between the 90 and the 270, again, 180. Nee. So die periode van 'n sin en cos grafiek is 360, but the period of a tan graph is only 180. Okay. Now how does it look? I always remember it. Do you remember the positive straight line? Ek het vir julle vertel van my domhand en my slim hand, nee? My slim hand, my positive hand is my right hand because I write with it. So dit ek sê daai is 'n positiewe gradient, nee? So it's more or less how your tan graph is going to go, but as you just noticed, we're going to have curves, nee? Okay? So in plaas van so 'n lyntjie gaan ons nou hê, because that's a positive gradient, right? We're going to have this. It's going to look like that. Slangetjie, yes. Net daai stukkie, want hy mag nie deur 90 gaan nie, en hy mag nie deur minus 90 gaan nie. Because it's a positive, it's got to face that way, né? So again, over here, because as same as what we had at the sine and cos graph, the same thing will repeat every 180 degrees. En weer, hierso. Do you guys get that? Oh yes, ja. Ja, op jou tabelletjie. Okay, so maak dit vir jou sin? Nee. So. Ja, onthou as dit nou net eers begin met hom. So dan is jy eintlik alright as jy so ver al dit kan sê. Okay. Goed. So can I skip to where we draw this tan graph of ours? Probeer jy gou vir my op hierdie bladsy wat ek vir jou gegee het. Use your calculator. Plot your points. Remember error? Ja, kyk hoe slim is jy. Remember error means asymptotes, né? Plot gou daai punte en dan gaan ek nou gou saam met jou teken. Bye. What? Is it confusing? Oh. Reg, want dis hy wys vir waar jy deur die x-as sny. Soos reg, hoor? Laat jou punte connect the dots. Moenie dink hy's verkeerd nie. Dit is 'n weird grafiek. Oh my head. Ek het hier een uit. Okay, sien jy klaar? Goed, so, jy gaan hê 'n asymptoot by 90 en dan 180 grade is daar nou niks eers vir nou nie. Then you're going to have another asymptote at 270 and then at 360 I've got nothing for now. Then minus 90 I have an asymptote at minus 180, nothing yet. Then minus 270 is another asymptote. En dan minus 360. Gaan eers niks. Nou, as jy jou punte gaan plot, if you guys just used 90 degrees, like we said, nee, dan sou jy net gehad het soos hy sê 0 en 0 en 0. Nee, then it's difficult to see, is my graph going to go like that or would it go like this? Because the only thing you know is that it passes through here, it passes through there, and it passes through here. Stem julle saam? So if you get something like that, make your steps, nee, jou, wat het ons gesê, wat is die woord wat ek gebruik het? Maak jou intervals, jou intervalle, maak dit vir jou kleiner, nee. So now I want you to take your calculator, instead of saying a step will be 90, make your steps 45. Doen gou dit vir my. Het julle hom? Okay, so kom is jy nou daar? Okay, so now, jy het nou gevra vir elke 45 grade. So let's only look at the positive values. I'll do the negative sign just now. I just want to go from 0 degrees onwards. So you will see that at 45 degrees, meaning over here, your y value will be 1. Do you guys see that? Then the next value is where x is 90, and then it says error. Then at 135 degrees, it says your y value will be minus 1. Nee. Okay, by 180 grade gaan jou y-waarde 0 wees. And at 225, your y value will be positive 1. Is ek reg? Goed, en dan over here, it would have been a negative 1 again. So now, kan jy 'n bietjie 'n idee hê van hoe hy veronderstel is. Now you can see that it actually goes from the bottom through the 180 and then it goes up. Okay, so now kan jy actually die grafiek gaan trek. So if you see it's too difficult to draw a graph from what these intervals were that you used, dan maak jou intervalle kleiner, dat jy meer punte om te gaan plot. Dan gaan jy meer akkuraat teken ook. Okay. Right, so this one would then look like that. Woo. Dis am net te bly lelik, sorry. Like that. Okay, same thing here. As ek nou hier gaan plot, dan gaan hy wees daar by minus. So it's going to go like that. En hier gaan hy dan so deur gaan. En hierdie armpie gaan net boontoe wys, because the other part further than 360 gaan wees aan die onderkant, nee. Okay, is julle alright so ver? Nou, wat is my periode? So hierdie was gewees, y is gelyk aan tan x. You guys have this on your graph or on your page. Okay, so what's the period? Wat is die periode van 'n tan grafiek? Met ander woorde, hoeveel grade neem dit om hom te voltooi? 180 grade. Okay. Wat is my amplitude? Amplitude is mos hoe hoog amplitude? Excuse dis hy. Amplitude, remember we said from the x-axis up to the maximum point and from the x-axis down to the minimum point. Maar nou weet ek waar hierdie grafiek eindig. Nee, want daai armpie gaan op en op en op en op en op. It's going to go closer towards the asymptote, but I don't know where it stops. So therefore, a tan graph will have no amplitude. So hy het geen. Want ons weet nie waar hy stop nie, né? Jy kan daar sê geen maximum of minimum, of jy kan net sê geen ook. Asymptote. What? Asymptote is the dotted line. Wat het ek nou gesê? Ja, amplitude is how high up or how low down it goes. Ja, sissie. Excuse my ou notas het nog sê amplitude. Okay, maar maak vir jou nota daar, it doesn't have an amplitude. Just so you know. Sorry, ek kyk nog op die ou notaatjies. So sê net daar by jou tan grafiek, hy het nie 'n amplitude nie. Asseblief, is tyd vir afkondigings aan die einde van Sondag. Lees asseblief die afkondigings aan die einde van Sondag. Ek het nog baie gehad wat ek wou doen. Okay, wag. Okay, now asymptotes people. What are my asymptotes? Jy moet daar neerskryf, dis 'n paartjies, ja. So jy gaan hê x is equal to minus 270 degrees. Ja. 90 grade. X is minus 90. And X is positive 270. Okay, onthou, as jou grafiek, if I go maybe to 400 or 500 degrees, then I'm going to have added asymptotes, nee? Because it must be every 180 degrees. Is julle by? So jy moet gaan kyk na wat die beperking is van die grade wat